And welcome back to another Axel 72 video. And today it's a pleasure to be joined by Leo Fanthome. Hopefully, I pronounced that right. How are we doing, mate?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
right,
right.
Fanthome.
Brilliant. So, how are we, man?
Yeah,
Yeah,
really
really
good,
good,
Alex.
Alex.
Training's
Training's
going
going
well.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
looking
looking
forward to the
forward to the
18th of May.
indeed, not far away
Yeah.
now. And
No, not far now.
yes, and
4 weeks, I think it is.
is it? Oh, right, that's really not far away now, then, mate.
Yeah, not far away.
And I suppose, for anybody who may not know, am I right in saying you're a welterweight who's 1-0?
Yes, 1-0, welterweight. Um, Obviously based outside of Reddit, live in Redditch. Train at DNA Boxing Club, under the guidance of Anton Hull. Been boxing there now just over about sort of year and a half. I boxed for Redditch as an amateur. I had about 25 amateur bouts for Redditch Boxing Academy. Had a bit of a break from boxing, came back to the sport, went and boxed for DNA, had five amateur bouts for DNA. And then I decided to turn over pro. So after 30 bouts, decided to go pro with Anton, obviously managed by John Pegg, JP Management.
Indeed, no, it's amazing, and I suppose if you don't mind me asking, you say you had a little bit of a break during the amateurs.
Yeah,
Why was that for?
I just sort of I'd boxed since the age of 12, and I think I'd never really had any time away from the sport, so it was just I sort of fell out of love with it, and decided to go and play other sports, rugby, and I just sort of drifted away from it, and then sort of fell back in love with the sport, and really got my passion back, and started boxing again, and had quite a good successful five bouts. Won three out of five. Should have won four out of five really, and then decided to go pro.
Mhm. No, it's great to see that you have that kind of love returned for the sport, and how important is, especially a sport like boxing where you are literally putting your life on the line, how important is it to make sure that you are just fully enjoying it and fully focused in what you're doing?
Yeah, 100%. It's one of them sports you can't play boxing. I mean, you're either 100%, 110% in it, or you're not. There's no playing it. You've got to be 100% dedicated in everything you do. So it's just you got to be in it to win it.
Mhm. Completely agree, mate. And
Yeah.
I suppose now you've had your professional debut, and I suppose before we talk about the actual fight, did you feel too much nerves, too much pressure before that debut?
Yeah, like a lot of pressure to be fair. I had quite a lot of people coming to support me. And sold over 150 tickets. Had a big following coming from Redditch, coming to support me. And I was really nervous because obviously for my debut, a lot of people come in, all my family, friends and stuff as well. So yeah, it was quite nerve-wracking.
Mhm. Well, of course, you
Yeah.
have to deal with it very well. And I suppose, with selling that many tickets for a pro debut, I know often selling tickets is a very key part of the sport that a lot of people don't necessarily understand. But how
Yeah, I didn't till I started professional boxing. I didn't realize how important it was, and where it gets you. If you're a big ticket seller, you can be the best boxer in the gym, you can be the best boxer around, but if you don't sell tickets, it's you sort of it's very difficult then for you. But if you can sell tickets, you box well, and you're entertaining, like you can get some good opportunities. I've been told.
of course, yeah.
Yeah.
But, I suppose you started off winning ways, and obviously with a professional debut, you don't always necessarily know what to expect from the journeyman you're in against and things like that.
Yeah.
Pleased were you with your performance?
Oh, I was really pleased. Yeah, there was a few things I could have done a bit different, but in regards to sort of boxing clean, boxing nicely behind a jab, which I did. I was very sort of target head and body quite nicely. I thought I boxed very sort of clean. I didn't get too involved in sort of scrapping with him because I knew who I was fighting. I knew he was, pretty tough and quite durable. Dale Arrowsmith. But yeah, it was. I thought it was a good performance. There's things on there that we took away that we could work on. That Anton's gone over with me, and we've been practicing on. But yeah, all in all, it was a good performance.
Indeed it was. And I suppose has your respect to an extent maybe grown for journeymen and now you understand their whole kind of game and their whole purpose?
Yeah, yeah, massively. Everyone I've ever boxed, I've always gone in there and respected anyway, because it takes a certain individual to go into a boxing ring, and it's a very humbling sport, I believe. So you should always show respect to your opponents before and after. Um, but yeah, I mean, it opened my eyes up. Definitely. I didn't realize how it sort of worked. I thought you just do amateurs, you just go in there and box and the best man wins sort of thing. But with the pros, and if you're, a prospect, there's, certain, there's a almost like a bit of a route that you take, isn't there, where you box these tough, durable journeymen, and then the opportunities and come where you'll box another prospect or a champion or whatever. But yeah, it has opened up my eyes. Yeah,
No, that's all a professional debut is really there to do to, get you into professionals and settle you into an extent. And I suppose
sure.
for the moment, what would you say is your current motivation for the sport?
Um, probably like being able to, probably being able to just like make my family proud, make myself proud, and get get opportunities through the sport that maybe I wouldn't have been able to do, with other things really. But yeah, I think making my family proud is a big like sort of win for me. And then also like from the financial side of it, being able to do things through boxing, like being able to buy a house, being able to um, you know, treat my mom and dad to nice things, being able to treat my girlfriend to nice things, being able to go on holiday, all the great things that come with boxing from the finance side, probably that. And also, obviously, most importantly, winning titles. That's what motivates me. So that I would say a mixture of those three things. Um, and yeah, I think that's what it'd be really for me.
Mhm. And not to sound too cliche or anything like that, but do you
Yeah.
fully believe in the motto of like you do only live once, this is your one chance?
Yeah, massively, massively, and I'm glad I took it because, I don't think I would have if I didn't have that sort of attitude of, you only live once, you got to go for it. I don't think I'd be where I am now. So I'm glad like I've taken these little opportunities that have come, and I'm looking forward to, what's down the road really, and see what comes of it. But yeah, you got to take every opportunity that comes, and grab it with both hands, because with boxing as well, it's a very short shelf life, isn't it? You only get one debut, you only get one shot at it, so you got to make the most of it.
Mhm. Completely agree again, mate. And
Yeah.
suppose, to talk about, you touched upon it a little bit, but preparations for your next fight, I suppose, first of all, how they're going, and second of all, are you happy to be out active?
Yeah, yeah. I'm I think I'm probably the fittest lad in the gym, but by far, and to stay active and stay busy is very important for me. I said I wanted to have in my first year of boxing, I want 5 fights at least. And then yeah, preparation's going well as always. I sort of never leave any stone unturned. I put my heart and soul into my training. I actually enjoy physical training and exercise. Getting up early in the morning, running 5:30, 6 o'clock before work. It doesn't bother me. I enjoy it, and then training again in the evening. I've been training twice a day for the last since I had like a few days after boxing on my debut. I had about 3 days off, and I was straight back in the gym onto it again, ticking over. And then as soon as I got this fight date, we started to ramp it up. But yeah, it's going very well.
And I suppose maybe I'm just saying too many phrases, but I suppose when they say like the stuff that goes on behind the scenes is the most important, would you have to agree?
Yeah, massively. Yeah, what what you put in, the fruits of your labor is what basically, that's what comes, isn't it? Of good things come through hard work and dedication, sacrificing, and it can be difficult, it can be, but it's all worth it in the end. And whatever you put in, you usually get it out, don't you?
Indeed, and I suppose for anybody who may have missed your pro debut and might be going to your next fight, or maybe just watching this and becoming interested in you as a fighter, what would you say stylistic wise makes you interesting as a fighter?
Um, I think what makes me a bit different is I've got a lot of tools in my locker. I can fight toe to toe. I can box on the back foot. I'm a good counter puncher. I've got good feet, good reflexes. So I'd like to think I was an all-round fighter, really. Um, and I like to entertain as well. You know what I mean? I like to put on a bit of a show. So yeah, I think I've got the full package.
Mhm. Amazing. And sometimes you see from fighters and prospects coming up that they just want to maintain their own, win by points, cruise through fights. But how important is it to, continue to still give your fans their money's worth?
Oh, massively. And that's what it's about, isn't it? People buy tickets and watch it, but if they find you boring or not entertaining or, a bit dead, they ain't gonna come again, are they? So you gotta be, stopping and dropping people in order to get that excitement and that, people to look at you sort of thing. So I do understand that as well.
Mhm. No, you seem like a very smart mind from the seams of things. And I suppose,
Cheers, Alex. Yeah.
of course, and I suppose, from progressing on, like you've mentioned, titles, it's something that you want to look towards in the future. And I suppose, what
Yeah.
are your main goals in boxing?
I think my main goal is um, obviously firstly to win titles. Secondly, to financially secure things, that I want. I want to buy a house. I want to buy a house with my girlfriend. I want to go on holiday. I want nice things. I want to be able to have, you know, a very comfortable life. I want to make, and lastly would be I want to make my family proud. I want to make mum and dad proud, and all my friends. And if I can set also a presence in the local area and a vision for younger sort of athletes, younger lads and girls coming through in any sport and be a bit of a role model, even better.
Mm. And I suppose to touch upon that, how much would you
Yeah.
recommend boxing as a sport for youngsters to even just let out anger?
Yeah, massively. I think in this country, not having boxing really ingrained in school is probably a bit of a, I don't know. I think having that the discipline that boxing gives you, it might, in a sport curriculum or, anything like. I think that'd be brilliant. But involved for young people, boxing's just it's just magic, isn't it? What it can do for people. And you get all walks of life come through boxing. In boxing gyms. It's some sort of magic, isn't it? What it does for people, especially for young people, and I think it has so many benefits from sort of reducing crime to giving kids guidance, making friends, making them more confident, making them fitter, healthier individuals. There's no other sport like it, I don't think.
Yeah, I completely
Yeah.
agree. And so I appreciate your time. Got two more questions for you, mate.
Yeah.
And so, other than, of course, like like we've mentioned, you won your pro debut. Other than, of course, winning, what else is your favorite part of the sport?
Oh, favorite part of sport. I like watching boxing, from a sort of spectator point. I watch loads of boxing. I like watching old fights and I like watching fighters that not everyone hears about. I like, I think that's one of my favorite things, analyzing boxing, watching different fights. Um, I like the fitness side of it, like I touched on earlier. There's elements of that I really enjoy. Um, Yeah, I think that there's probably the 2 points of that I like other than actually boxing it that I like through the sport. Yeah.
Mhm. And I know I said two more, but I want to lead on from what you just said there. And
Yeah.
like you said, there's some names that you watch as a boxing fan, and for myself, I always like to find out what other boxers who they've watched coming up, and even if I don't personally know them, I'll go research them and things like that. And I
Yeah,
suppose
yeah.
for you, who are these names that you've enjoyed watching?
Over the years, I like Jorge Linares. I don't know if you remember him. He boxed Devin Haney, boxed Anthony Crolla. Um, I like Gennady Golovkin. I also, and then sort of Floyd Mayweather, obviously. I mean, there's loads of fighters I could go on as lists for. Love to watch for different reasons and different skill sets that they've got. But yeah, there's too many to. I like people say, "Well, who's your favorite fighter?" I don't think I'd be able to name just my sole favorite fighter because there's so many really. They got all different, attributes and skill sets that And if I feel my dad always used to say to me, if you can pick little bits from each fighter and put add them to your sort of skill set, then you become the whole, become the full package. Don't you? Take little bits from everyone. So I know your defense, you take a little bit from Floyd Mayweather. Your attacking and aggression maybe from Mike Tyson, the footwork of Sugar Ray Leonard. There's so much you can take from different fighters and add it into your skill set. And I think that's the great thing about boxing, really. There's no set in stone way to box it. So there's all different skills that you can pick up along the way.
Mm. No, I completely agree again, mate. I feel like I have just
Yeah,
agreed completely with everything that you've been saying, and it's been a
that's good.
pleasure. It's been a pleasure to speak to you, mate. And I'll leave with this final question, which I always like to
Yeah.
ask. Basically, just to open up the floor. Is there anything you want to promote, shout out, anything like that?
Yeah, no, just thank you to all my friends and family who bought tickets who, continued to support me. Big thank you to Anton Hull, who's coaching me. I've developed so much with my boxing skills lately through Anton. It's been great. Other mentions as well. There's other coaches that have helped me, through in the gym, out of the gym, and in the past. And then a big thank you to all my sponsors, really. Matthew Kelly Building Contractors, Redditch Plastering, Ulster Barber, Shakespeare, Security. There's loads, but thank you guys for helping me. Thank you for Arrow Metals, Dan O'Gorman. But yeah, I really appreciate all the hard work that everyone's put into me. And yeah, I look forward to showcasing that on May the 18th.
And I'm very excited to see that as well. And it's been an absolute pleasure, like I've mentioned. Hopefully, a little bit further on.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Hopefully, a little bit further
really
on.
appreciate your time. Thank you for your time, mate.
Hopefully, we can speak again soon.
Definitely. All
Brilliant.
right then.
Brilliant. And so if you are new around here and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you did indeed like the video. And thanks for